All right. Welcome back to the Word of Mouth podcast. I don't know which episode number this is going to be because I'm not sure. I'm going to post it tonight, and I'm not sure where I'm at. But I'm driving my Lyft right now. I got three awesome dudes in the car with me. We're in Jacksonville, Florida, and the conversation they asked me was about a fantasy football swap, which I didn't know anything about the players. So I said, but why don't we ask ChatGPT? So here's the discussion and the decision, and the reason I want to capture this moment in time is because I want these guys to reach out to me later if this decision was correct. So I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you what's going on. There you go.
Yeah. So my name is Reese. You can call me Shanny. That's kind of what I go by. My team name is the Magic Skull Bus. I've been in a fantasy league with my boys for about 10 years now. It's our 10-year anniversary, and every year we kind of go up in stakes. So this year we're up on $500 for a buy-in, and if you lose, it's you got to shave your head bald. So I kind of have to take it pretty seriously, or else I'm not going to get any girls in the club or in the bar. So I asked the Lyft driver. I'm here with who did you guys say your names?
Jake and Carter.
Jake and Carter, the boys, and really trying to figure out what to do in this fantasy football trade because we have a full point PPR league, 10 people, one flex. So the problem with my team at the moment is, if anybody in this podcast knows, I drafted Christian McCaffrey with my second overall pick. He went out on injury.
He's currently on the IR.
He's on the IR.
So he's out for at least 4 weeks.
Yep. And then I had him stacked with Deebo Samuel, who just recently is going to be out for a few weeks for like a calf strain. And so I'm trying to figure out, because I need to win kind of now, or else I'm kind of screwed. I'm going to miss the playoffs, and I might be in the contention to shave my head bald. So I reached out to this guy because it's DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears, and I reached out and I just said, what would you do for DJ Moore? And he said Deebo Samuel, question mark. And, in the draft, I picked DJ Moore. I picked Deebo Samuel a pick before DJ Moore, and then after the draft, I was actually kind of upset I did that. But for the first few weeks, Deebo Samuel's been balling, and DJ Moore hasn't. So, I'm kind of in this predicament of, do I go get DJ Moore right now? Have a consistent guy to play in the meantime who's, what would you say, somewhat of the same tier as Deebo, right?
Yeah, more consistency, not as much upside.
Right.
But his floor is a good 10, 12 points a week.
Right, which I think so, and he does have big play upside.
For sure.
He does. It just depends on Caleb Williams.
The only thing about Deebo that is really exciting about Deebo is he can run the ball too. He runs the ball maybe 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
So, and DJ Moore maybe run the ball twice a week.
And really, Deebo's getting a lot of this production because CMC's back, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to lean towards it, but I think you made up a good point of I'm trying to now trade. What was it? It was
Deebo Samuel,
Calvin Ridley,
and Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
For
Mike Evans. I think if he is okay with that, that's a complete win.
For sure.
That's a win.
It's a good thing that he asked for Deebo. Said Deebo question mark? So he obviously wants Deebo from you, so you have leverage in this situation.
Right. It's just he loves Mike Evans.
Yeah.
All right, so what did ChatGPT recommend?
So ChatGPT recommended, so it was hard because it basically said, it compared the two players, and it said DJ Moore is a consistency play. If you're looking for constant consistency and receptions, and somebody that's going to get you points that you don't really have to worry about too much, versus Deebo Samuel is kind of a big play guy. If he has himself a week, he's going to win you that week.
All right, so back in my room, had a chance to listen to that. I want to say thank you so much to Reese, Jake, and Carter. You guys reinstill my faith in America's youth. You're young kids. You're all very respectful, going out to have a good time. You don't seem like troublemakers, and I appreciate that. And like I told you on the good luck on the challenge you guys did with the hot dogs and the beers and stuff. And, when you're ready, if and at any point you're ready to give up the booze, turn yourself back to my podcast, listen to it, and I'll be there to help you out. But you guys are still young, you're having fun, and like, don't let me be a buzzkill on that, because not everybody becomes an alcoholic, right? Like some people, like I said in my earlier episodes, Naval Special Warfare guys are just a bunch of frat boys that never grew up and graduated college and moved on. And the reason I decided to capture this conversation with these guys is because it was an opportunity to prove that an old, slightly overweight special operations veteran can engage with the younger generation in a meaningful way and have an open discussion with them and actually help sway their conversations by just being, mature and listening and like getting all the facts laid out. And then I said, well, why don't you ask ChatGPT? And the reason I did that is because he said it, right? This is the 10-year anniversary of their fantasy football league. There's a lot on the line here, like $500 or you got to shave your head. He shaves his head. He's not getting any girls, right? It says all risk versus reward, and life is a risk versus reward decision. And these guys did a great job of weighing it out and debating it. And I give Reese a lot of credit at a young age, because what you've done, Reese, is you've opened yourself up to mentorship. You've opened yourself up to other people's perspectives. And that is a trait that is going to carry you very far in life, bro, because being coachable and being open to mentorship and guidance is what's going to make or break you, man. And if you're not willing to listen and you're not willing to accept constructive criticism, then you're not going to make it very far in life. But I don't think you guys are going to have that problem. I was very impressed with you, all three of you. And you said it, Reese, you said, I need to win now, right? And that's, I use that as life. Right? Because think about that. And I'm glad you guys are young, because when you're young, you value money over time, right? And you're willing to take risks to make that money. And a lot of young kids will make that money with drugs in illegal ways because they need money now, or they feel like they need money now, right? And a quick way to get money is to do illegal activities, right? It pays well, but the risk is high. You got to worry about the DEA coming and knock on your door. Then on the flip side, you can make consistent money. So that would have represented your trade, right? Like DJ, who can make big plays, but he's prone to injuries. He can, 1 week he can sail you through the roof of the numbers, and the next week he can be injured and not play. But then you have the consistent player, Debo, who he just every game in, game out, right? He may not make spectacular plays, but he's consistent. And that's just like a job, right? You getting a regular job is like having a consistent life. It doesn't pay as much, but it's stable, and you ain't got to worry about the DEA kicking down your door. And so what Reese did was he's like, well, I need to win now, but I also need to think long term. That is a life lesson. You're going to apply this in every aspect of your life. Do I go for the big car now and struggle to make the payments, or do I get a smaller car that's more consistent, gets me where I need to go, and set up for the big car later, right? That's exactly what you're doing with the football. It's like, do I go with the flashy player now, but I still got a long season, or do I go with consistency? And that's a good way to balance out every decision that you make in life. And I'll tell you guys, man, one of the best pieces of advice I got from a wise master chief when I made chief in the Navy was, don't make big decisions alone. And good job, guys. This is a big decision, and I'm glad that you're not making it alone. I'm confident that the consistent decision is going to work out. I didn't get your guys' number, but my number is 619-600-9018. Drop me a picture of the three of you from the baseball game, and I will make it the cover photo of this episode. And what I'm going to do, I'm putting this episode here now in season 2, just because I told these guys I would post it last night, but I was out too late. So I'm going to post it right now. And then I'm going to create a whole new season called Confessions of a Lyft Driver. And I'm going to put this episode as the first episode of that season. And that season will just be random. It'll just be everyday people that I'm picking up, taking to work or take home from work, or young guys and gals going out to a sporting event, to a good game. And just have some cool conversations and post it on Lyft, and the people are the story. So I'm looking forward. Thank you, Reese, Jake, Carter. You guys are awesome. You gave me a whole new inspiration. I'm starting a whole new podcast called Confessions of a Lyft Rider. And it's all because of you guys. And I'd really like to have you guys back on the show after the season or even throughout to tell us how your fantasy football decision is working out, because that's a life decision. I want to show people what consistency versus risk can do in every aspect of life. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.